Is this thing still on? Man, if you watched the Saba build, I recorded at the same time because I had already recorded this video, but I got it caught up. I have very limited free time, and if I have time to go skate or time to edit, I'm gonna choose to go skate. So I filmed this setup, no sound, so I'm just gonna voice over it and go from there. So this is all about the Neil Blender GNS board setup. I've already posted a video on this, Bowl Days. Great time riding it. Absolutely love it. Probably the best bowl board I've ever set up. Super comfortable on it. Still drinking this clown juice. Woo! That was crazy. Got it in my tastes, in the nasal and in the throat. Got all. Hey, look, this is blue collar stuff here, man. We're not making high production videos. We're just drinking our clown shoes, talking about some skateboard nerd stuff, and sharing it with the world. So let's go do this video. Strictly just a setup video. Again, this is just gonna be a voiceover. So you'll hear me talk. I'll try and explain what's going on. I recorded this a long time ago when I was getting the video going. That's not video, board. Super hyped on this board. Again, I recorded this because I don't want to regret not doing it. So I like setup videos. I like to watch setup videos. Hopefully you also enjoy watching some setup videos. So here we go. All right, that's me. All right, here is the Neil Blender GNS 80s modified board. I've already gripped it. I made a lot of mistakes in the gripping. I put the two layers of grip tape together and cut it, but what I didn't do is flip one of them upside down. So I had to go back and make a lot of corrections, like manual, analog type corrections to get to go. And there's the faces. And my goal was to get the grip tape to kind of match the flow of the graphic with the interlocking heads. It's Neil Blender. It's super sick, right? So what these Eddie's modified boards are is they took a board that Neil Blender had in the 80s with GNS, and they gave it a little bit more shape. They gave it a little more real nose in there. So like I put this cool grip on it, and I put that little blue screw in that one spot, so it kind of matched the grip. And then I didn't know what risers to use, so I didn't want to go too big, so I used an 1/8 rubber one. I like the rubber ones even on my street boards. I just feel it helps the truck set a little better on the board without putting the pressure of the truck directly on the wood. And then I added a 1/2 inch. No, that's a lie. A 1/4 inch on top of that. So I'm at 1/8 on the rubberized riser, and then a 1/4 on the hard plastic riser. So, and I'm using some Momentous hardware. Big fan of them. There's the 1/4 inch riser. Oh man, you can hear me talking. It's so weird. I might mute that out. All right, and then I've already pre-set up the trucks and the wheels. So the trucks are some A66 in the blue. Man, love these trucks. I love the way they looked at the shop, DeVille Skate Shop, my local shop. I had to have them for this board, and I was like, the green with the blue is just a great like 80s color combo, right? So since I was thinking that when I did the grip, so then I was able to keep it with the G-bone wheels, and then the bearings are I believe I'm running the Bones Big Ball, the 6 bearing wheels in there. There's my cat. He kind of kept getting in the way a little bit. He's 22 pounds of cat. Like, you don't mess with that dude, he will tear you up. So if he's comfortable, he's comfortable. You just got to work around it until he decides to roll. All right, so just kind of tighten the hardware. I had lost my skate tool at this time. Man, it disappeared at the skate park. I'm I'm blessed that I had it for like a year, right? So if it disappeared and lasted a year, I'm good to go. So I got that right there. Ace trucks, G-bone wheels, sick grip. I really worked my ass off on that grip. Be grateful that I didn't videotape it because it took forever. There's a little shape. You can see the nose. There's the side. There's the tail. And it just looks really good. Like, super happy with the way that this came out. All right, then I'm gonna do some rails because why not? I'm an '80s kid, so might as well do some rails up. The way I do my rails is first I do use the wood screws that it comes with, and I just screw them in by hand. Get them lined up, get them comfortable, not comfortable, just like feel confident that they're equally aligned. There's some Tigger again, and then I unscrew the wood screws that I put into it, because like rails will rattle on you and they'll get loose, especially if you're skating anything street. So what I like to use is the sex bolts or rat nuts. When I was growing up, they were definitely called sex bolts. Now, like, I've heard the phrase rat nuts more and more, and then you just drill straight through those wood screw holes that perfectly aligned. And for every set of sex bolts or rat nuts, it is a 7/32, 7/32. So loud. I'll just wait. And still waiting. All right, so it's a 7/32 drill bit is the perfect size for the sex bolt. So it's important that you do that, and you have to be cautious of the angle that you're drilling, because the concave of the board in the way that the rail is going to sit on the board. So there you can see I've got all 8 on this for these rails, 10 holes perfectly drilled, and that's going to allow me to set in the bolt part, aka female portion of the sex bolt. These ones I got from Brand X Toxic. They were good. The screw part was a little bigger than your average rail hole, so I had to like really drill them down there, kind of reshaping the countersunk portion of the rail so that the screw fit into it. So like, man, I drilled them in. They're not quite even when they're done. You'll kind of see that. But yeah, I like sex bolts because what they do is they keep your rails secure to the board. They stop any rattling. They allow you to skate street without breaking the rail off from the wood screw and causing damage to your board. So like, this is a very 80s thing to do. Like, I don't see anyone else doing this. I still do it. I probably have 4 or 5 boards set up with sex bolts. This is my first set of brass ones. I usually use black. But it gives a certain aesthetic, and it gives a certain feel to the board that's just very familiar to me from the 80s. So there you can see I've got them all drilled in. So you've got the male portion that goes into the rail, goes into the female portion coming through the top of the board, and it's just super secure. And these ones, like with the concave of this board, I didn't have to put them in too far, and I was able to put them on the outside, which is great for grabs and things like that. So super stoked on this setup. Really love it. And I man, G&S, they don't drop a lot of boards, but if you go to the Gordon Smith website, they've got some classic 70s boards, and then they've got their normal or reissues from the 80s from Neil Blender or their Proline series or whatever. I'm just a big GNS fan. I grew up in San Diego, and it's a San Diego company. And man, if you watch the Bowl Days video for this setup, it's great. It's not great. I'm not great. The board is great. So, highly recommend you go check it out. Highly. If you didn't watch that video, go watch that video. So I owed you that video, and now you got it. So, man, go build yourself an 80s board, an 80s modified board, because they just rock. It's just a good time. All right. I haven't had a sip of this in a minute. Cheers. And go do something rad.